How you experience love at first sight. Check timestamps for your zodiac sign. Aries, surrendering to something bigger. For Aries, love at first sight is humbling. You're used to chasing, showing off, and proving yourself through effort. But this experience doesn't involve winning. Instead, it strips you of control, leaving you vulnerable to something so vast and undeniable you can't strategize around it. One moment you're self-assured, confident, maybe even thinking about your next conquest, and the next, you're undone by a single glance. Unlike past romances where affection felt like a prize, this will be raw, immediate, and ego-shattering. You won't care about looking cool or holding back. You'll just want to stay close, as though existing near them is enough. The realization dawns slowly. Chemistry this powerful doesn't need performance. It just exists. And later, when you discover the feeling was mutual all along, you'll understand that some connections arrive fully formed, needing no chase, no conquest, just acceptance. Taurus, calm in the rush. For Taurus, love at first sight feels like finally exhaling after holding your breath for years. You're so accustomed to soothing dissatisfaction with little comforts, food, shopping, music, that you rarely experience true, deep peace. But this moment delivers exactly that. A calm so profound it feels almost sacred. Strangely, this tranquility exists alongside the undeniable adrenaline of infatuation. Your pulse races while your spirit settles, producing a surreal cocktail of stillness and energy. It's confusing, because how can you be both electrified and grounded at once? Yet you'll surrender, soaking up every second of presence, as though time itself is expanding just for you. For once, you don't need anything extra. No luxury, no distractions, to feel alive. That person becomes the stimulus, the comfort, the satisfaction. Love at first sight will remind you that wholeness can come not from possessions, but from connection, and you'll gladly let yourself be carried by its current. Gemini, finally whole. For Gemini, love at first sight feels like someone gathering up all the scattered pieces of your life and handing them back to you, intact. You've spread yourself thin, across friendships, work, hobbies, endless commitments. You're rarely fully present in one place, and though you thrive on variety, it can leave you feeling fragmented. Meeting this person is like discovering someone who sees every angle of you at once, without compartmentalization. Through their eyes, you recognize yourself more clearly. Traits you've overlooked, gifts you've downplayed, even flaws you've tried to hide. In their presence, you feel dense, complete, unshakably whole. Love at first sight reminds you that your abundance doesn't make you scattered, it makes you rich. You'll realize that self-love, nurtured and reflected through their gaze, is the wellspring of every other connection. Instead of juggling, you'll feel integrated, anchored, and, maybe for the first time, at peace with every version of yourself. Cancer, intuition awakens. For Cancer, love at first sight is the moment your intuition bursts into full bloom. You usually rely on logic, scanning for red flags, gathering facts, ensuring safety before you open your heart. But this experience bypasses all that. The tidal wave of emotion is so immediate you can't resist it, and something deep inside insists you shouldn't. It feels like another sense, as natural as taste or touch, whispering that this person belongs to you in some inexplicable way. The familiarity is uncanny, like hearing your favorite song for the first time or recognizing a place you've never visited. There's nostalgia before memory, comfort before knowledge, destiny before proof. It unsettles you because you prefer certainty you can explain, but love at first sight isn't logical. It's visceral, otherworldly, like catching a glimpse of the future in the present. For the first time, you'll trust emotion as your guide, and you won't regret it. Leo, private chemistry, not performance. Leo, you've always been an expert on attraction. You can spot the most magnetic person in any crowd and understand exactly why others gravitate toward them. Many times that person is you. But love at first sight strips away the performance, the audience, and the social spectacle. Suddenly, it's not about who wins the room or who shines brightest. It's just you and this other person, suspended in a private exchange that feels untouched by outside forces. It won't matter what you're wearing, who else is watching, or whether the moment is perfect. The chemistry will be instant and undeniable, and for once, you'll feel it belongs only to you. Love at first sight shows you that some connections are unscripted, unpolished, and more authentic than any grand entrance. And because you already know how to embrace joy fully, you'll lean into it with your whole heart, grateful that destiny doesn't always require a spotlight. Virgo, a protective instinct awakened. Virgo, when you encounter love at first sight, your analytical nature is hijacked by something you can't rationalize, a deep, protective instinct for a perfect stranger. Instead of coolly cataloging their features, you'll feel compelled to study them with tenderness, reading their expressions like an ancient language only you understand. Their face will feel familiar in ways you can't explain, sparking an urge to drop your usual guardedness. You'll want to comfort, to care, to embrace, instincts you often suppress under your critical eye. What surprises you most is not just how much you want to protect them, but how much you long to let them protect you. It disarms your tough love approach, softening your edges and showing you a gentleness you didn't know you possessed. Love at first sight for you feels like a paradox, impossibly irrational, yet utterly natural, awakening a side of yourself you've kept hidden even from your own heart. Libra, instant understanding. For Libra, love at first sight is like finding someone who speaks your unspoken language. You've spent years translating your thoughts, making yourself easy to understand, and adapting to others' rhythms. But suddenly, here is someone who gets it immediately. Before you finish your sentence, they already know the punchline. The spark feels psychic, as though your minds are wired to the same circuit. It's playful, witty, and exhilarating, full of jokes and flirtation that flow effortlessly. More than attraction, it's relief. The comfort of being understood without effort. For once, you don't have to bridge the gap. You're already standing on common ground. This moment feels like recognizing a missing part of your mental and emotional landscape. Love at first sight for you is not just about beauty, it's about resonance. The thrill of finding someone who can dance in step with your thoughts and reveal depths you've long wanted to share. Scorpio, magnetized from within. Scorpio, love at first sight for you is undeniable, magnetic, and consuming. It doesn't creep in slowly. It hits you all at once, pulling you towards someone as though the universe itself has tied a thread between you. Their presence halts your momentum, demanding every ounce of attention. The lightest brush of their hand or casual glance feels electric, imprinting itself in your body like a secret only you can feel. And true to your nature, you'll memorize them instantly. Eyes, freckles, gestures, all committed to memory, so you can replay the moment again and again. This isn't just attraction, it's recognition, as though your souls have crossed paths before. Love at first sight for you isn't about fantasy, it's about intensity, a visceral pull that refuses to be ignored. Even when they're gone, you'll still feel them lingering, a song looping in your mind, undeniable proof that the connection exists whether or not anyone else sees it. Sagittarius, a cinematic encounter. Sagittarius, for you, love at first sight will feel like stepping into a movie, grand, colorful, and larger than life. In a crowded space, your eyes will lock onto one person, and suddenly everything else will blur into the background. It's as though the universe has cued the soundtrack just for you, and every glance or movement feels choreographed in perfect rhythm. Your natural boldness will push you to act, perhaps in ways you didn't know you were capable of. Striking up a conversation, making a playful move, or diving into connection without hesitation. The chemistry creates an invisible bubble around you, a private world where only the two of you exist. Once the haze clears, you'll realize that your life has shifted in an instant. Love at first sight becomes the opening act of a story that feels fated, a plot twist that permanently changes your trajectory, leaving you eager to see where the script will lead. Capricorn, the day you never want to end. Capricorn, love at first sight will surprise you by loosening your careful grip on time. Usually, you guard your hours with discipline, but in this moment, you'll want the day to stretch endlessly. At first, you may hesitate, worried about overstepping, reluctant to monopolize their attention too soon. Yet when they smile, gesture you over, or invite you closer, all restraint dissolves. The conversation flows easily, and you'll invent excuses to keep it going. Coffee after lunch, drinks after dinner, any reason not to part ways. For someone so practical, you'll be startled by how quickly you imagine seeing them again, already craving the next encounter. This moment softens you, reminding you that not everything can be scheduled or earned through effort. Love at first sight will show you the beauty of surrendering control, allowing life to unfold naturally. And while you'll still make plans, you'll know this connection began in timeless, unscripted magic. Aquarius, the open book effect. Aquarius, love at first sight feels like the rare moment you don't have to hide behind detachment. From the beginning, their questions and the way they listen disarm you. Talking to them feels like writing in a diary, uncensored, raw, and strangely liberating. You'll find yourself revealing truths you rarely admit, sharing imperfections without fear of judgment. In return, you'll feel their openness mirror yours, creating a bond that feels sacred and immediate. For someone so self-reliant, this level of vulnerability is shocking, but it's also exhilarating. It's not just attraction, it's recognition of a fellow seeker, someone committed to growth, honesty, and evolution. Love at first sight reveals potential, the possibility of walking alongside someone who challenges and inspires you. In their presence, you see not just who you are now, but who you could become. It's a vision of partnership built on authenticity, the kind of foundation you secretly long for. Pisces, a living storybook. Pisces, love at first sight will sweep you off your feet with a wave of emotion so powerful it halts time. One moment, you're moving through ordinary life, and the next, you're overwhelmed by a cinematic flood of feeling, like a dream spilling into reality. Unlike the characters in romances you've idealized, this person won't feel imagined. They'll be vividly real, yet just as enchanting as your favorite stories. You'll want to write poems, spin songs, fill journals with every detail, the color of their eyes, the shape of their smile, the way the world shifted when they entered it. Your imagination will race ahead, painting futures before you've exchanged more than a glance. Love at first sight for you is less about reason and more about awe. The wonder of encountering someone who feels both brand new and achingly familiar. In hindsight, you'll see that this was the first chapter of a love you already began composing that very day. Thank you for watching the video, and let us know your thoughts in comments box below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get all the updates.